Hi guys. All right, time for math. I'm on lesson 28. We're starting session 1. I'm on page 577. So usually we kind of just skip over this page. This is just the family letter, but since you're at home with your family, it makes sense to go over this with your parents, siblings, grandparents, whoever you're with. So you guys can tear this page out if you want to and read it with your family just to look at the kind of problems you're going to be dealing with this week or for the next few days. And then on the back there are some different problems that you might encounter in this lesson. So just some example problems. The answers are right there, the blue part. So this is kind of more for your parents to do the problems with you is what it says. It says do this activity with your child. So you can do those with your family or skip it and start the lesson or do it later. You don't have to do it right now. Okay, so session 1, we're doing all the session 1 pages, okay? So I'm on page 579. Open your workbook 2. Just kidding, you're not here, I can't do that. Okay, so this is normally where we would do our 3 reads problem, but I'm all by myself. You guys aren't here to read it with me, so I'm just gonna read it. We're gonna try and solve it. All right, so we're dealing with time and money. This problem is just about time. Xing, interesting name, Xing does chores for 1 hour, 15 minutes on Wednesday and 25 minutes on Thursday. Xing spends a total of 115 minutes doing chores on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How many minutes does he spend doing chores on Friday? Okay, so I'm going to grab a highlighter and I'm going to highlight the important information. You guys can just underline it, or if you have a highlighter or a different marker or anything, you can do that. So he does chores for 1 hour and 15 minutes on Wednesday. That's important. He does chores for 25 minutes on Thursday. What a slacker. Okay, and total of 115 minutes doing chores on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they're asking me to figure out how many minutes he does chores just on Friday, because they tell me the other two. They tell me how much he spent on Wednesday. They tell me how many minutes he spent on Thursday. The only one I'm missing is Friday. And I know the total, okay? So I like to keep my notes kind of organized and separate. So Wednesday is 1 hour, 15 minutes. I'm going to abbreviate minutes. Thursday is just 25 minutes. And Friday is my question mark. But I know the total of all 3 of those should be, it says total of 115 minutes. Okay, so I know this plus this plus this is going to be 115. So I need to look at this Wednesday one because it was back a few lessons, but we did work on converting these measurements. So I need to convert this hour into minutes and find the total number of minutes for Wednesday because my total is in minutes only, not hours and minutes. So I need to check this. So 1 hour I know is how many minutes? I'm hoping you all just said 60. 60 minutes. Okay, plus that 15 minutes though. Can't forget about that one. So plus 15 minutes equals, and you can pause and do the math if you need to, or maybe in your head you just already know that 60 plus 15 is 75 minutes. Okay, so I know Wednesday's total minutes. I know Thursday's total minutes. I need to figure out Friday. But if I know the total, I can take the total minus these 2, and that will equal Friday. Okay, so what I'm going to do is 115 minus, then in parentheses, 25 plus 75 from right here. Remember, you do the parentheses first. Or you could do just 75 plus 25 equals, and then whatever that is, 115 minus that. Let's say that is, I don't want to use F because that means Friday. I'll say B. Minus B equals Friday's minutes. Okay, so pause it for a second and solve this. First, add these two, whatever you get, subtract it from 115. Okay, I'm assuming you paused it and solved it, or you just kept watching and waited for the answer. So 25 plus 75, I'm going to do it on the side because I'm going to stack them by place value and add them. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 more, 10. So that's 100 minutes. Remember, I drop it down underneath my parentheses. But then I have to remember, I can't forget, everything outside the parentheses I drop down. Okay, so here's my problem. This will give me my Friday minutes. 115 minus 100. And I could do it on the side if I need to, and you can pause and do that. Or you can see it in your head maybe. 115 minus 100, there's 15 left. Okay, so that means Friday he spent 15 minutes doing chores. So same thing here, 75 plus 25, cross out my variable, it equals 100. So cross out my variable again, that equals 100. 115 minus 100 equals Friday. So Friday equals 15 minutes. And you can write it in a sentence. Xing spent 15 minutes doing chores on Friday. Perfect, beautiful handwriting. All right, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, next page. All right, this is where they explain everything we just did. Explain how to find how many minutes Xing spends doing chores on Friday. So, look back at what you just did on this page, and in your own words, explain it here, okay? I am not gonna take the time to do that right now because I don't want this video to be an hour long, but you should pause right now and explain in your own words. Or if you don't want to write it all out, explain it to someone near you. Your mom, your dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, dog, whoever, okay? All right, so this part is explaining that you can use a bar model, like how we used to do for our multi-step problems, to solve these equations, okay? Because it was multi-steps, it just involved time. So for this different problem, now we're talking about Lucy, okay? If you hear heavy breathing, it's because one of my dogs is trying to join in on our math lesson. It's not me. Okay, new problem, sorry. Lucy has 2 hours to do errands, so that's this part right here, because it's in minutes now. So 120 minutes equals 2 hours, so that's that part. 2 hours that she has to spend doing her errands. She spends 15 minutes at the post office, right there, 45 minutes at the grocery store, and 40 minutes getting a haircut. So how much time does she have left, this part, to get her car washed? So it shows the total time that she's gonna spend doing her errands, what she's already done, and how much time is left, okay? So use the bar model to write an expression to represent the time Lucy spends on errands so far. So these blue boxes are what she has already done, okay? So an expression, an equation, for these 3 blue boxes, and we can say time, t equals, and I'm gonna add up the minutes for the time she's already spent doing her errands. Okay, so it was 15 minutes at the post office, 45 minutes at the grocery store, 40 minutes getting a haircut. So I'm adding those up. Okay, now I need to figure out this step. So I have to write and solve an equation to find the amount of time Lucy has left to get her car washed. So how do I figure out this W in the bar model? Okay, so I'm gonna take my equation that I have, my expression, 15 plus 45 plus 40. I'm gonna put it in parentheses. And then this 120 minutes is her total amount of time. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in the beginning. 120 minus all the time that she's already spent is going to equal W, car wash time. Okay, so C, how much time does Lucy have left to get her car washed? So I have to solve all this. And parentheses means that I do that first. So 15 plus 45 plus 40, I'm gonna stack them on the side and solve. Oh, by the way, you should be pausing and solving. So pause and solve. Assuming you paused again. Okay, great. So checking your work. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10. Okay, so in the parentheses, that all equals 105 minutes. But I need to drop down everything outside of the parentheses. So 120 minus 105 equals how much time she's got. And again, you should have solved that on the side or used your mental math to solve. I'm doing it on the sides. 15 left. Okay, so 15 equals W. So how much time does she have left? She has 15 minutes. Not 15 hours, just minutes. Everything here was converted into minutes, okay? Like the 2 hours in the beginning was converted into 120 minutes. All right, number 3, reflect. How does the bar model help you solve the problem? So this right here was the bar model. How does that help you solve? Pause it and answer that question, please. Share your work with somebody else. Oops, I caught an error. Did you catch an error? Can I just say that I did this on purpose? 5 plus 5 is not 15. 5 plus 5 is 10. So she only spent 100 minutes doing her errands, which means 120 minus 100 doesn't equal 15 minutes. It equals 20 minutes. 20 minutes. There we go. All right, let's just pretend that was on purpose. And I was trying to make you think about your math. All right, so this page. So we're still on session 1, okay? This is our little web model. Multi-step problems is in the middle. So what is it? What do I know about multi-step problems? And then come up with some examples. We're not gonna do that together, but you could show equations for your examples. You could show a bar model like this over here, or you could write out a little problem that is a multi-step problem, okay? But we're moving on to number 2. All right, still centered, so you can see. Okay, draw a bar model and write an equation for the multi-step problem below. So I have to draw a bar model, but I also have to write an equation. Here's my problem. Sam buys a table and 2 chairs. The table costs $300 and each chair costs $50. Sam has $500. How much money does Sam have left after he buys the table and 2 chairs? All right, Sam is rich. Okay, so bar model. So my total amount of money is going to go on the top. Well, it's a very straight line. Okay, total amount of money that he has is this $500. You can put the little dollar symbol. Okay, and then everything he's buying is going to go on the bottom bar. So he's got $500 to spend. I'm really good at drawing straight lines today. Okay, so the table costs $300. That's a little more than half, so I'm gonna draw it like right there. Doesn't have to be exact. It's not like fractions. Okay, $300 for the table. And then he bought 2 chairs. So each chair is $50, but they're asking how much money does he have left after he buys all that. So I need 3 boxes. So here's a chair, $50. Here's another chair, $50. And then this box left, I need a variable there for how much money he has left after. I'm gonna do L, just whatever variable you want, right? Okay, so there's my bar model, all done. Table, $300, 2 chairs, $50 each. And I have to figure out how much is left if he had $500 to begin with, okay? So I take my $500. Oh, and if you want to pause it right now and work on the equation yourself, you can, or you can wait until we've got the equation together and then you can pause and solve it. Okay, and then I need to add the total cost of everything he bought. So the table for $300, 1 chair for $50, and the other chair for $50. Okay, so I'm subtracting everything he bought from his original amount of money. 300 plus 50 is 350, plus 50 more, 400, or you could say that's 100 right there, plus 300. So he spent $400. I drop down everything outside of the parentheses. $500, oh, it was equals L, my variable. That's what's left, equals L. So $500 minus $400, he has $100 left. You can write it in a sentence if you want. There's no solution line, but you could circle your final answer. And you did not have to pick L as your variable, right? You could choose anything. Okay, you can give yourself a star if you did that while you paused and if you got the right answer. Okay, turn the page, please. Man, I miss you guys. Okay. All right, page 582, last page for session 1. All right, solve the problem, show your work. Angela exercises for 1 hour, 45 minutes on Wednesday and 35 minutes on Thursday. She spends a total of 165 minutes exercising on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How many minutes does she spend exercising on Friday? Okay, this sounds very familiar to the first problem where the guy was doing chores for all that time on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we had to figure out just the Friday time. Okay, so this is going to be the exact same type of problem. So 1 hour, 45 minutes on Wednesday, that's a long time. 35 minutes on Thursday, and the total is 165 minutes on all 3 days. And they're asking us to solve how many minutes does she spend exercising on Friday, just Friday, because I know the other 2. So I'm gonna write my notes again. It's hard for me to maneuver this. Okay, so Wednesday, 1 hour, 45 minutes. Thursday, 35 minutes. Friday, we don't know yet. But the total minutes for all 3 days was 165. Okay, now I need to convert my 1 hour and 45 minutes into just minutes. So remember, 1 hour is 60 minutes plus the 45 right there. That equals, if you want to pause and solve, you should, or you do it in your head, 105 minutes. That is a long time to exercise. Good for her. Okay, so now I know Wednesday minutes, Thursday minutes, need to find Friday minutes. I could do a bar model for this, or I could just do an equation, or I could do both. So here's what your bar model would look like. Let's see, it says check your answer. We'll just draw an arrow like we usually do. Okay, but this is one way that you could check your answer, right? So the total amount of time she spent exercising was 165 minutes. So that'll be my top bar. So that's my total. And my second bar is going to be the 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday was definitely the most with 105. Thursday was 35. And Friday, don't know. What variable? Let's just do F, I guess, for Friday. That makes sense. Okay. So that's what I need to solve. If you're going to make an equation, you can pause it and try the equation on your own, or just solve it once we've got it. So total minus 105 plus 35. All right, and that'll give us this Friday time. So on the side, let's see if I can add this time. Just kidding, that was totally on purpose. 5 plus 5 is not 15, it's 10. So 140 minutes is what she spent exercising on Wednesday and Thursday combined. So I put that underneath my parentheses because that's what I solved first. I bring down everything else. 165 minus that, forgot my variable again, equals Friday. Okay, 165 minus 140, 25. 25 minutes equals Friday. And there is a solution line this time, so you do need to write it in a sentence. What was her name? Angela. Angela spent 25 minutes exercising on Friday. How did she go for 105 minutes on Wednesday to only 25 on Friday? Maybe she was exhausted still. Okay, all this right here is how I showed my work. Okay, so I can just draw an arrow like that. But if you want to go one step further, if you add up Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday, it should equal 165. Okay, so Wednesday, 105 minutes, Thursday, 35 minutes, and Friday, 25 minutes should be my total, 165. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 10. Just kidding, it's 15. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Drop down my 1. 165, that's what I started with. So, I checked my answer. You can get a star for that, and a star for this if you, well, let's see. Showing your work will be a star, 25 minutes in a sentence will be a star. Okay, and that's everything for session 1. The next day, next video will be for session 2, and it's just problems about time. Okay, so this is kind of just intro lesson, time and money problems. Next time it'll be just about time. Okay, bye.